In 2005, when social media was still a novel concept, MySpace ruled the online world as a vibrant playground where people connected through glittering profile pages, custom backgrounds, and self-selected music tracks. In that virtual space, Ethan Carter, a 24-year-old white man from a small town in Ohio, and Maya Johnson, a promising 22-year-old black model in New York, accidentally touched each other's fate. Ethan grew up in a peaceful suburban area where endless cornfields stretched out, and reality often held back big dreams. He was a self-taught filmmaker, passionate about capturing the world through his lens. With tousled brown hair and blue eyes that sparkled with curiosity, Ethan spent hours editing videos on his old computer, dreaming of one day working in the music and film industry in Hollywood. To him, MySpace was a gateway to connecting with like-minded people, where he uploaded his self-made short films and received praise from online friends, thousands of miles away in New York. Maya Johnson was making a name for herself in the fashion industry. With smooth brown skin, voluminous curly hair, and a radiant smile, she quickly became a sought-after face by prestigious modeling agencies. Working for a top agency, Maya appeared in magazines and walked the runways. But behind the glamour was a simple girl who loved R&B music and quiet evenings with a book. MySpace was her escape, a place to unwind, share behind-the-scenes photos, and chat with friends, far from the pressure of the fashion world. Their encounter began with a random comment. While browsing MySpace, Ethan found a photo of Maya in a striking red dress at a fashion event. He was drawn not just by her beauty, but by the witty caption, "Feet hurt from heels, but the smile never fades." Ethan left a comment without overthinking. That smile could light up all of Ohio. Maya, used to cliché compliments, found this line sincere and funny. She replied, "Ohio, isn't that just corn? And more corn?" A conversation had begun. The back-and-forth messages quickly became a daily habit. Ethan talked about the videos he worked on and sent Maya rough edits for her feedback. Maya in turn shared her long days on set and her dream of trying her hand at acting. They discovered a common thread, a love for creativity, and a desire to rise beyond their circumstances. Though geographically distant and culturally different, Ethan, with his modest Midwestern lifestyle, Maya, with her fast-paced urban rhythm, they found harmony in late-night phone calls, where each other's voices became a source of comfort. The MySpace culture of that era, with background tracks like Alicia Keys or Coldplay, added color to their relationship. Maya's page always played "If I Ain't Got You," while Ethan chose "Fix You" to express his mood. Though outdated, these small details were the glue that connected them through computer screens. They shared dreams and struggles. Ethan worried about leaving his hometown to chase a career. At the same time, Maya opened up about the pressure to prove herself in a fashion industry where diversity was still an uphill battle. After 3 months of messaging, Ethan flew to New York to meet Maya. He saved money from his part-time job at an electronics store and bought the cheapest flight. The day they met at a small cafe in Greenwich Village was a moment neither would ever forget. Wearing an oversized sweater and a scarf, Maya looked far more down to earth than her model photos online. With an old backpack and a shy smile, Ethan tried to hide his nervousness. "You're taller than I expected," Maya teased, breaking the awkward tension. They spent the entire day walking through the park, talking as if they'd known each other forever. That meeting marked the beginning of a romance that defied all barriers. Ethan began flying to New York more often, while Maya would catch a flight to Ohio to visit his family when time allowed. Initially surprised by the cultural difference, Ethan's family quickly grew fond of Maya, thanks to her warmth and sincerity. On the other hand, Maya's friends in New York joked that she had fallen for a country boy, but couldn't deny the sparkle in her eyes whenever she talked about Ethan. Though only a fleeting platform in the digital era, MySpace became the fateful bridge between Ethan and Maya. From simple messages, they built a relationship based on respect, sharing, and ambition. Neither of them could have imagined that from those early days, they would embark on a journey filled with passion, unexpected YouTube fame, and challenges no camera could ever hide. In the fall of 2008, golden leaves glittered on the streets of New York. As Ethan Carter stood in the middle of Union Square, his heart pounding like a schoolboy before his first date. After 3 years of long-distance love, he had decided to propose to Maya Johnson, the woman who had changed his life since those early MySpace messages. But for someone like Maya, a famous model with a smile that could melt even the coldest hearts, Ethan knew he had to do something truly special, something unforgettable. Now 27, Ethan still carried the humble look of a boy from Ohio. Denim jacket, slightly messy brown hair, and bright blue eyes that lit up when he talked about filmmaking. He had moved to New York a year earlier, working freelance as a videographer on small ad projects, just enough to get by and afford trips with Maya. She, now 25, was at the peak of her modeling career, appearing in fashion campaigns and glamorous parties. But to Ethan, Maya was still the girl who loved grilled cheese sandwiches and laughed out loud at his silly jokes. The idea to propose came to Ethan during a sleepless night as he rewatched old footage he had filmed of Maya, moments of her laughing on Coney Island Beach, singing off-key in the car, or hugging him tightly after a long day. He wanted to tell their love story through images in the language he knew best. For 2 months, Ethan secretly worked on editing a 3-minute video combining clips he had filmed, photos from MySpace, and lines of text narrating their journey. He chose Unchained Melody as the soundtrack, the song they once danced to in Maya's cramped apartment. To bring the dream to life, Ethan asked a friend at an event company to help rent a large LED screen at Union Square where he planned to show the video. On the day of the proposal, Ethan told Maya he wanted to take her to a street art performance. Maya, in a turquoise knit dress and scarf, suspected nothing. She just held his hand and teased, "If this turns out to be a boring exhibit, you owe me pizza for a week." When they arrived at bustling Union Square, Ethan led Maya to the front of the screen. Suddenly, the screen lit up, and Maya's face appeared smiling in an old video clip. She froze, turning to Ethan. "What is this?" The video began with their first images on MySpace. The message, that smile could light up all of Ohio, trips between Ohio and New York, and the moment they moved in together. Ethan's gentle voice played over the footage. "Maya, you are my light, the dream I never want to wake up from." As the words, "Maya Johnson, will you marry me?" appeared on screen, the crowd in the square erupted into cheers and applause. Ethan knelt, holding a simple silver ring, the best he could afford. Maya, eyes brimming with tears, nodded without hesitation. "Of course I'll marry you, you dork!" They embraced in the middle of the roaring applause, and a friend of Ethan's hidden among the crowd recorded the entire moment. Initially, the video was uploaded to YouTube to share with family and friends. Ethan titled it, "Ethan and Maya, Our Love Story," and sent the link to his mom in Ohio, Maya's sister in Atlanta, and a few relatives. But within a few days, something unexpected happened. The video spread like wildfire. Love blogs shared it, and YouTube users left thousands of comments. "This is the sweetest proposal I've ever seen. Who are they? I want to know more about this couple." Ethan and Maya, who only meant to preserve a memory, suddenly found themselves in the spotlight. The video garnered millions of views, becoming viral when YouTube was still a new platform. The video's virality wasn't just a stroke of luck. It reflected the cultural moment of the early 2010s, when personal videos began shaping how we shared stories. Ethan and Maya with their cultural contrast, he a white guy from the countryside, and she, a black model from the city, touched the hearts of a global audience. Comments on YouTube praised not only the romance, but also their cross-cultural love. One viewer wrote, "They prove that love knows no boundaries." Of course, there were negative remarks, two accusing them of showing off or questioning their interracial relationship. Maya, familiar with prejudice from the fashion world, read them with a calm smile. They don't understand. Our love is bigger than words. In the following weeks, Ethan and Maya received hundreds of messages from viewers asking about their lives, how they met, and even their wedding plans. One evening, as they sat on the couch eating pizza and scrolling through the comments, Maya said, "What if we made a video about us?" To answer everyone, Ethan, ever passionate about filming, instantly agreed. They recorded a short video telling the story of MySpace, the back-and-forth flights, and how they fell in love. Though simple, the video attracted even more attention. Viewers asked for more. Make a video about your daily life together. And just like that, Ethan and Maya's YouTube channel was almost unintentionally born. The proposal at Union Square wasn't just a promise of marriage, it was the beginning of a new journey where they unknowingly stepped into the limelight of YouTube. But no matter how bright that spotlight cast shadows, they never anticipated pressure, scrutiny, and challenges that would test their love in ways no camera could ever capture. In the spring of 2010, golden sunlight bathed a small garden on the outskirts of New York, where Ethan Carter and Maya Johnson exchanged vows in a simple yet love-filled ceremony. After the viral proposal at Union Square, the couple decided to hold their wedding in their way. No extravagance, no professional cameras, just family, close friends, and the love that had bound them together since the days of MySpace. But that very authenticity made their moments captured by phone cameras and later uploaded to YouTube continue to touch the hearts of thousands of viewers. Ethan, now 29, looked mature in a plain gray suit, his brown hair neatly combed, though his smile still carried the shyness of the Ohio boy who once nervously met Maya. She, 27, radiated in a fitted white wedding gown, her natural curls cascading as she walked alongside her father, eyes sparkling with joy. When they exchanged rings, Ethan whispered, "You are my home, Maya." She responded with a tight embrace, prompting the garden to erupt in applause. Standing among the crowd, Maya's sister shouted, "Stop making my baby sister cry, Ethan," making everyone burst into laughter. The wedding was a union of two people and a fusion of two worlds. Ethan's family, coming from Ohio, brought traditional dishes like cornbread and barbecue, while Maya's family from Atlanta introduced soul music and energetic dancing. This cultural blend, from Stevie Wonder's tunes to stories from Ethan's hometown, created a warm atmosphere that reflected their love across boundaries. A friend filmed the ceremony, and the video posted to their YouTube channel quickly gained attention. Viewers left comments like, "This wedding looks like a movie," or "I can feel the real love here." After the wedding, Ethan and Maya moved to Los Angeles, where Ethan got a job at a video advertising company. At the same time, Maya continued modeling and began exploring creative projects like fashion blogging. They rented a small Silver Lake apartment with windows overlooking palm trees and a balcony corner where Maya grew a few cactus pots. Their life, though not glamorous, was full of everyday moments, Ethan clumsily making breakfast, Maya teaching him to dance to Beyoncé, and both laughing uncontrollably after spilling coffee on the carpet. Their greatest joy came in 2011, when Maya gave birth to their daughter Ava. With her mother's big round eyes and her father's signature smile, Ava quickly became the center of their world. Ethan, a first-time father, fumbled through diaper changes, while Maya, exhausted from sleepless nights, still beamed every time she held Ava. They began filming short videos of their daughter, from her babbling her first mama to her wobbly steps in the park. These videos, shared on YouTube, were not just keepsakes, but also drew an audience who loved the authenticity of a young family. One fan wrote, "Ava is a little star, and you two are wonderful parents." As family vlogs started to gain popularity, the YouTube culture of that era provided a platform for Ethan and Maya to build a loyal community of viewers. They shared happy moments and challenges, nights when Ava was sick, the stress of balancing work and family, or disagreements over parenting. With her intuitive nature, Maya responded to audience comments explaining that they didn't want to showcase only perfection. "We want you to see the messy days too," she said in a video. That openness made their channel even more beloved, even though they never saw themselves as YouTube stars. However, the first signs of pressure began to appear. Ethan often worked late, sometimes missing family dinners. Maya, though she loved vlogging, felt drained, trying to maintain a cheerful image in front of the camera, especially while dealing with the pressures of motherhood and the fashion industry's racial biases. One time, when Ava had a fever, Maya sat crying alone in the living room, wondering if they were sharing too much of their private life. When Ethan returned home, he held her and promised, "We'll find a way to balance it, okay?" But both knew that the YouTube spotlight, however dazzling, was beginning to creep into the cracks of their happiness. Ava, now 2 years old, became their most significant source of strength. She loved running around the apartment, scribbling on paper, and laughing whenever Ethan made funny faces. Those moments, captured on camera, stood as proof of Ethan and Maya's love. But when they posted a video of Ava singing a nursery rhyme, and it received thousands of adoring comments, they also realized that their family life no longer entirely belonged to them. The audience, though loving, was now expecting new stories, and that pressure, still subtle, was quietly building, ready to test their love and connection in the years to come. By 2013, the small Silver Lake apartment of Ethan Carter and Maya Johnson in Los Angeles was not just the cozy home of a family of 3, it had also become the headquarters of a rapidly growing YouTube channel. From the viral proposal at Union Square to the intimate wedding moments, their channel, Ethan and Maya's Journey, has become a favorite destination for thousands of worldwide viewers. Videos of their everyday life, from Ava, their 2-year-old daughter babbling mispronounced words, to weekend beach trips, had transformed Ethan and Maya into icons of a modern, authentic, and diverse family. Ethan, now 32, still kept his casual look t-shirt and worn backpack, but his eyes lit up every time he held a camera. His work in video advertising gave him financial stability, but YouTube was where his creativity came alive. Maya, now 30, continued modeling, but devoted more time to managing the channel, editing content, and replying to viewer comments. With her curly hair tied up and radiant smile, she often appeared in videos with a relatable style, from oversized sweaters to flowing maxi dresses. "We're not trying to be stars," Maya once said in a video. "We want to share our story." The channel's boom started with videos featuring Ava. One clip of her singing an off-key version of "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" in the living room with Ethan, pretending to play guitar using a broom, was shared thousands of times. Viewers loved Ava's innocence and the natural chemistry between Ethan and Maya. They began producing more diverse content, cooking tutorials, usually ending in Ethan burning something, travel vlogs to places like Yosemite and San Diego, and Q&A videos responding to audience questions. One viewer wrote, "Your family makes me believe in love and the beauty of simple happiness." In the early 2010s, YouTube culture significantly influenced their success. It was an era when family vloggers like the Shaytards and the Sakone Jolies were shaping trends in personal storytelling. Ethan and Maya, with their interracial dynamic, he, a white man from the Midwest, she, a black woman from New York, offered a refreshing perspective. Their videos didn't just depict family life. They also explored themes like cultural harmony, overcoming bias, and young parenthood. In one video, Maya shared about being rejected for a modeling contract due to her race, and how Ethan always stood by her. The comments section was flooded with empathy. "Thank you for your honesty. It gives me more confidence in myself." Engaging with viewers became an essential part of their routine. Maya often read comments while feeding Ava breakfast, sometimes laughing out loud at amusing questions like, "Has Ethan ever won an argument with Maya?" They hosted live streams where Ethan talked about his days in Ohio, and Maya shared curly hair tutorials. These moments didn't just grow their community. They made Ethan and Maya feel close to their audience, as if chatting with old friends. Still, not all comments were positive. Some accused them of showing off happiness or questioned their cultural differences. Maya, ever patient, would reply, "Our love isn't perfect, but it's real." The channel's success brought new opportunities. Fashion brands and family-oriented companies began reaching out for sponsorships, improving Ethan and Maya's income. They moved from their tiny apartment to a 2-bedroom house in Los Feliz, with a backyard big enough for Ava to run around. Ethan invested in better filming equipment, while Maya learned to use editing software. Their channel was invited to YouTube events, where they met other vloggers, and realized they were part of a growing creator community. At a conference in San Francisco, a young viewer hugged Maya and said, "Your videos helped me believe I could find love." Maya was moved, realizing their impact was greater than she imagined. But the spotlight also brought pressure. Ethan often worked late into the night finishing ad projects while editing YouTube videos. Although Maya loved vlogging, she started feeling drained from maintaining a cheerful persona on camera, especially when Ava was fussy or work stress piled up. One evening, after Ethan forgot a dinner date due to filming, Maya snapped, "Do you remember the last time we talked about something unrelated to YouTube?" Ethan apologized, but both felt the shift. Once a joy, YouTube was becoming a responsibility. Ava, now nearly 3, remained the channel's centerpiece. She loved standing before the camera, making funny faces, or directing her parents with a pointed finger. "Film over there." Her bubbly personality and precociousness, like remembering lyrics or storytelling with her adorable mispronunciations, won over audiences. But Ethan and Maya began worrying about raising Ava under constant visibility. Ethan said they wanted her to have a normal childhood in a video, explaining that they only filmed when Ava was comfortable. Ethan and Maya found themselves at a crossroads. As their channel grew, should vlogging remain a part of their life, or would it begin to define them? They didn't have a clear answer. But the bright light of fame, however dazzling, was starting to cast subtle shadows over their home shadows that foreshadowed challenges no camera could ever fully capture. By 2015, the YouTube channel, Ethan and Maya's Journey Spotlight, had turned Ethan Carter and Maya Johnson into familiar faces within the family vlogging community. Their home in Los Feliz, Los Angeles, a sunlit backyard filled with Ava's laughter, was no longer just a family sanctuary, but also an accidental production studio. But behind the cheerful videos of park outings and family game nights, the pressure of fame had begun to creep in, dimming the happiness they once shared so freely on screen. Ethan, now 34, was still passionate about filmmaking, but his schedule was increasingly packed. In addition to his job producing commercial videos, he spent hours brainstorming, filming, and editing content for YouTube. With strands of gray beginning to streak his brown hair and blue eyes, which are often weary, Ethan struggled to balance passion with family responsibility. Maya, now 32, remained radiant with her signature smile, but she was exhausted, juggling motherhood, modeling, and managing the channel. She often stayed up late, replying to emails from sponsors, while Ava, now 4, begged her to read bedtime stories. Their YouTube channel had become a phenomenon, attracting thousands of new monthly viewers. They shared everything from Maya teaching Ava how to make cookies to vlogs of their trip to Disneyland, where Ethan dressed up as a superhero to make Ava laugh. Viewers loved their authenticity, especially their openness about parenting and cultural harmony. In one video, Ethan recounted learning to cook gumbo from Maya's mom in Atlanta, prompting comments like, "You've inspired me to try this dish." Their interracial dynamic. Ethan, a white man from Ohio, and Maya, a black woman from New York, continued to inspire, but also attracted negative remarks. Some viewers wrote that they were faking happiness or targeting their cultural differences. Maya, though, hurt, responded with grace. "We're not perfect, but we love each other." The YouTube landscape in 2015, where family vloggers had to compete fiercely for attention, placed Ethan and Maya in an invisible race. New platforms like Vine and Instagram were rising, forcing them to create content faster and more creatively. Sponsors demanded elaborate branded videos from children's toys to beauty products, making Maya feel like she was selling their family life. Once, while filming a body wash commercial, Ava tripped and cried, but viewers only saw the perfectly edited smiles. Later, Maya confided Ethan, "I don't want Ava to think life is just acting for the camera." The pressure wasn't only external. With dreams of expanding their brand, Ethan often pitched new ideas: a travel series, a family talk show, and even a separate channel for Ava. Maya, in contrast, wanted to slow down and focus on their daughter and her modeling career. One evening, after Ethan landed a big sponsorship deal with a toy company, Maya snapped, "Do you even notice we barely talk like we used to? It's all YouTube now." Ethan, drained, replied, "What do you think I'm doing this for? For Ava. For us." The argument ended in heavy silence, something rare in a home once filled with laughter. Ava, with her mother's curls and her father's bright eyes, was the light amid the tension. At 4, she was intelligent and sensitive, loved drawing colorful pictures, and often told stories about Princess Ava to the camera. Viewers adored her, calling her a little star. But Ethan and Maya grew increasingly concerned about the impact of fame on her childhood. Once, when a viewer recognized them at the supermarket and asked to take a photo with Ava, the little girl clung to her mother's leg, frightened. That night, Maya held Ava close and told Ethan, "We need to set boundaries. She's only 4. Ethan nodded, though his eyes betrayed his conflict. He loved YouTube, but didn't want to sacrifice their daughter's well-being. Audience interaction, once a source of motivation, had become a burden. Maya spent hours reading comments, from compliments like, "You're my dream family," to criticism like, "They're making money off their kid." During a live stream, Ethan accidentally mentioned an argument about scheduling, sparking online speculation. Some viewers defended them. "They're human, let them breathe," but others theorized about cracks in their marriage. Reading these, Maya felt their life was being dissected under a magnifying glass. She began to wonder, are we living for ourselves or the audience? Fame brought material upgrades. They bought a new car, renovated the backyard with a swing set for Ava, and even vacationed in Hawaii, filming a vlog that fans loved. But even joyful moments were often interrupted by the pressure to produce content. One evening, while the family was having dinner, Ethan picked up the camera to record Ava telling a story. Maya snapped, "Can you just put the camera down for 1 minute?" Ethan stopped filming, but the tension lingered. Still, their love remained the fire warming them through the challenges. One night, after Ava had gone to bed, Ethan and Maya sat on the balcony, looking out over the twinkling lights of Los Angeles. Ethan held her hand. "I'm sorry for letting YouTube take over. I just wanted us to have everything." Maya, her eyes glistening, replied, "All I need is you and Ava, not the spotlight, not the They embraced, promising to find a way back to balance. But both knew the bright light of YouTube, however dazzling, had begun to create tiny cracks in their home. And those cracks, if left unhealed, could grow with time. In the summer of 2016, the bright Los Angeles sunlight poured through the hospital window. Maya Johnson held Ethan Carter's hand, and they were overwhelmed with emotion as they looked at Zoe, their second daughter, for the first time. With her tight curls and chubby cheeks, Zoe brought a fresh breeze to the family, momentarily washing away the tension that had quietly built up in their Los Feliz home. But that joy, radiant as it was, couldn't hide the increasingly visible cracks in Ethan and Maya's relationship as the spotlight of YouTube and the demands of modern life began to drive them apart. Ethan, now 35, looked more mature with a few fine lines around his eyes, though he still wore the warm smile that cradled Zoe with tenderness. His video production work had grown more demanding, filled with big advertising projects and the ongoing pressure to maintain the Ethan and Maya's Journey channel. Maya, now 33, had temporarily stepped back from modeling to care for Zoe and Ava, but she still managed the YouTube channel, planning videos and negotiating sponsorships. She retained her natural beauty in loose t-shirts and hastily tied hair, though her eyes often betrayed fatigue after long sleepless nights. Zoe's arrival was a joyful milestone. Ava, now 5, took pride in her role as a big sister, often sitting by the crib, singing off-key lullabies. Ethan filmed a video introducing Zoe, capturing Ava's gentle kiss on her sister's forehead and Maya's glowing smile from her hospital bed. The video, posted to YouTube, quickly became one of their most beloved uploads, drawing thousands of comments like, "Zoe is Maya's twin," and "Your family looks like a painting." Viewers who had followed them since the proposal welcomed Zoe as the newest member of their online family. The YouTube landscape of 2016, where family vloggers now competed with increasingly polished content, continued to shape how Ethan and Maya ran their channel. They created more complex videos, a day-in-the-life series, and vlogs on raising 2 children. Their interracial family dynamic, Ethan from Ohio and Maya from New York, remained interesting, mainly when they discussed teaching Ava and Zoe about their cultural heritage. Maya baked traditional Atlanta sweets with Ava in one video, while Ethan taught her a Midwestern folk song. Viewers commented that "You taught me so much about love and culture." But negative remarks also increased, from accusations of exploiting their kids to racially charged insults. Though Maya tried to brush them off, some cut deeply. Interacting with viewers, once a source of encouragement, became a burden. Maya received hundreds of messages daily, from praise to intrusive questions like, "How do you stay happy all the time?" She tried to respond, but the pressure to maintain the ideal family image drained her. During one live stream, when Zoe cried and Ava spilled juice, some viewers mocked, "They can't even control their kids." Ethan, frustrated, later responded in a video, "We're parents, not actors. Our life is messy sometimes." The reply was widely supported, but also revealed how tense things had become. New challenges soon overshadowed the joy of Zoe's birth. Caring for a newborn and a 5-year-old left Maya with no time for herself. She abandoned her fashion blog and declined multiple modeling offers, feeling she was losing her passion. Ethan, meanwhile, poured himself into YouTube, seeing it as a way to secure their daughter's future. He proposed a new series about parenting the second time, but Maya pushed back. "I'm exhausted, Ethan. I don't want to film when I'm not okay." The argument lasted late into the night and ended with Maya sleeping alone on the couch, something that had never happened before. Ava, with the sensitivity of a 5-year-old, began to notice the change. She would ask, "Why is Mommy sad?" or draw pictures of the family with oversized smiles, as if trying to hold her parents together. Though still an infant, Zoe brought joy with her radiant smile and babbling. But even the children couldn't fill the growing space between Ethan and Maya. Close friends noticed it in recent videos. Maya smiled less, and Ethan sounded distant when discussing the future. During a visit, one of Maya's best friends gently advised, "You two need to talk not through the camera." But both avoided the confrontation, afraid of what they might discover. The pressure from YouTube didn't ease. A major brand demanded a sponsored video within 48 hours, just as Zoe had a fever. Maya, exhausted, refused. Ethan pleaded, "We need this deal to pay off the mortgage." Maya agreed, but during filming, her tension was impossible to hide. Though the video was carefully edited, keen viewers noticed something was wrong with Maya. That single comment made Maya burst into tears. She wondered aloud, "Am I even myself anymore?" Still, love remained the fragile thread holding them together. One afternoon, with Zoe asleep and Ava playing in the yard, Ethan pulled Maya onto the balcony. He embraced her and whispered, "I know I've been wrong. I'll cut back on YouTube." Maya nodded, tears streaming down. "I want us to be like before, when everything was simpler." They promised to spend more time together, but both sensed a painful truth. The cracks in their relationship, though once small, had deepened. And the YouTube spotlight, once a dream, was now becoming a burden too heavy to carry. In August 2019, a crimson sunset bathed the house in Los Feliz, Los Angeles, but inside the atmosphere was as heavy as a rainy afternoon. After nearly a decade of love and 6 years of marriage, Ethan Carter and Maya Johnson sat across from each other on the sofa, eyes swollen, preparing to film a short video that would change everything. Their YouTube channel, Ethan and Maya's Journey, once a symbol of love and family, was about to close a painful chapter. They had decided to divorce. The 30-second Instagram video posted on August 19th shocked thousands of viewers and marked when the two finally faced a truth they had avoided for far too long. Ethan, now 38, looked worn out, his brown hair unkempt and his blue eyes filled with worry. The grind of video production and the relentless pressure of YouTube had drained him, but his deepest pain was realizing he could no longer save the marriage. Maya, 36, still beautiful with her signature high-tied curls, now rarely wore the radiant smile that once captivated audiences. She held tightly to 3-year-old Zoe, while 8-year-old Ava played in the yard, unaware of what would unfold. Both parents knew this video wasn't just a farewell to their audience. It was a way to release each other from the emotional weight that had long been building. The decision to divorce didn't come suddenly. The cracks, arguments over YouTube, and growing distance in daily life had widened over the past 2 years. Ethan wanted to elevate the channel, seeing it as a way to secure a future for Ava and Zoe. Maya, in contrast, longed for a simpler life, where she could be a mother and pursue her passions without constantly performing for the camera. They diverged in vision. Ethan dreamed of building a media empire, while Maya yearned for peace and family. The pressure from their audience, with comments like, "They don't seem happy anymore," or "Are they breaking up?" it only made things worse. After one long night of talking, they admitted that while their love was real, it wasn't enough to bridge the growing distance. The announcement video was filmed in the living room, bathed in soft lamplight. Ethan and Maya sat close, not for show, but out of respect for their shared years. Maya spoke first, her voice trembling. "We've decided to separate. This is the hardest thing we've ever done, but we believe it's right for both of us." Ethan continued, struggling to stay composed. "We still love each other, but sometimes love means letting go. We'll always be Ava and Zoe's parents." They addressed the rumors, making it clear there was no drama, no betrayal, just irreconcilable differences. At the end of the video, they thanked their viewers and asked for privacy. Though brief, the video went viral almost immediately, receiving thousands of comments within hours. Many were shocked and heartbroken. "I grew up with you. How could this happen?" Others sent messages of support. "Thank you for your honesty. Wishing you both happiness." But there were harsh words too. "They're faking it for views." Or "I knew that happiness wasn't real." Maya, though emotionally prepared, still broke down in tears reading those. Ethan beside her took her hand and said, "Don't let them hurt you. We know our truth." That moment, painful as it was, proved their respect for one another. The social media climate of 2019, demanding transparency, yet quick to judge, added to their strain. Other family vloggers, even those who had once collaborated with them, faced similar scrutiny as they opened up about personal struggles. Ethan and Maya's interracial marriage, once celebrated as inspirational, has now become a target for some viewers who claim that multicultural marriages never work. Ethan and Maya chose silence, focusing on Ava and Zoe instead of responding. They took a 2-month hiatus from vlogging and disappeared from social media to heal and reorganize their lives. Ava, bright and emotionally perceptive at 8 years old, began asking, "Don't you and Dad love each other anymore?" Maya hugged her tightly and gently explained that Mommy and Daddy love Zoe and you very much. But sometimes grown-ups need to live apart to be happy. Ava nodded, but her drawings now included gray clouds. Still carefree at 3. Zoe smiled brightly, enjoying weekends with her dad and curling up in her mother's arms at night. The children became why Ethan and Maya committed to remaining friends, ensuring Ava and Zoe always felt loved by both parents. The divorce wasn't just the end of a marriage, it marked the final chapter of Ethan and Maya's journey. The YouTube channel, which had chronicled everything from their MySpace beginnings to Zoe's birth, became a bittersweet archive. Ethan moved into an apartment nearby, leaving the Los Feliz house to Maya and the children. While packing, he found an old photo from their proposal one afternoon. Smiling sadly, he texted Maya. "Thank you for everything," she replied. "Thank you, Ethan. We had a beautiful journey." That simple and heartfelt message was their soft goodbye to a life they once believed would last forever. By late August 2019, after Ethan Carter and Maya Johnson posted their 30-second Instagram video announcing their divorce, social media erupted like a storm. Their YouTube channel, Ethan and Maya's Journey, once a symbol of love and family, became the center of heated discussions. The house in Los Feliz, Los Angeles, once filled with the laughter of Ava and Zoe, now sat in silence as Ethan and Maya chose to step away from the spotlight to heal and protect their daughters. Their 2-month social media silence wasn't just a needed break. It was a time for themselves and their audience to confront a brutal truth. Happiness on screen isn't always the whole story. Ethan, 38, had moved into a small apartment just a few blocks from their old home, doing his best to maintain stability for 8-year-old Ava and 3-year-old Zoe. With disheveled brown hair and blue eyes weighed down by emotion, he spent much of his time alone, only returning to the house when it was his turn to care for the girls. Maya, 36, remained in the Los Feliz home, caring for the children with strength, though her heart ached each time she saw remnants of their marriage. Her curly hair was tied up high, and she wore simple t-shirts. She forced smiles for her daughters, but her eyes couldn't hide the sadness. The audience's reaction was fast and fierce. Though brief, the divorce video spread across Instagram, YouTube, and online forums. Thousands of comments poured in, some full of sorrow, others empathy. One longtime fan wrote, "I've followed you since the proposal video. My heart is broken, but I respect your decision." A younger viewer shared, "Thank you for showing me what real love looks like, even if it doesn't last forever." These words, like handwritten letters in a digital age, became a source of comfort for Ethan and Maya. A fan group even created the hashtag #SupportEthan. and Maya, sharing their favorite moments from the channel to show gratitude. But not all responses were kind. Some viewers felt betrayed, accusing Ethan and Maya of deceiving them with the perfect family image. They were acting for money. One harsh comment received hundreds of likes. Racially charged attacks also resurfaced, targeting their diversity. These kinds of marriages never last. Maya, trying not to read them, still stumbled upon hurtful messages on her phone. During one school drop-off, Ethan reassured her, "Don't let them break you. We were honest." Maya nodded, but both knew those comments, however unfair, left scars. The 2019 social media climate, where audiences demanded authenticity but were quick to judge, intensified the pressure. Other family vloggers they met at YouTube events faced similar controversies when revealing personal struggles. Ethan and Maya's interracial marriage, once an inspiration, was now used by some to speculate about their failure. Blog posts and YouTube reaction videos dissected the divorce announcement. Some expressed compassion. Others called it a PR stunt. Tired of the scrutiny, Ethan and Maya stayed silent, deleting social media apps from their phones to focus on their children. Ava, sensitive and perceptive at age 8, began to understand more clearly. One evening, she asked Maya if Daddy was not coming back. Maya hugged her gently and said, "Daddy still loves you and Zoe, but Mommy and Daddy are living apart, so everyone can be happier." Ava drew a picture of the family with her parents standing apart, but holding her and Zoe's hands as if trying to keep them together. Zoe, still blissfully unaware at 3, loved running around the backyard and always asked Ethan to tell superhero stories when he visited. With their innocent resilience, their daughters became the reason Ethan and Maya pushed through the pain. They agreed on a shared parenting schedule to ensure Ava and Zoe always felt loved by both. The 2 months of silence became a journey of healing. Maya spent more time with the children, taking Ava to art classes and teaching Zoe nursery rhymes. She began journaling, recording emotions she had long hidden from the camera. In his new apartment, Ethan returned to creative filmmaking, producing short clips he never posted, just a way to rediscover himself. He regularly video called Ava and Zoe, telling silly stories to hear their laughter. One day when Ava said, "I miss when you and Mommy played with me together," Ethan choked up, promising, "I'll always be here, even if things are different now." Their absence from social media didn't mean the world had forgotten them. Loyal fans sent heartfelt emails sharing how Ethan and Maya's story helped them through their hardships. A young woman wrote, "Seeing how you separated with respect taught me how to let go without anger." Though they couldn't erase the pain, these messages helped Ethan and Maya recognize the value of the years they had shared with the world. They began thinking about the future. Maya considered returning to her passions, and Ethan dreamed of launching new creative projects unrelated to YouTube. As the 2 months ended, Ethan and Maya, though still wounded, felt more ready to move forward. One afternoon, while taking Ava to the park, they sat on a bench watching their daughters play. Maya said, "We did okay, didn't we?" for Ava and Zoe. Ethan nodded, offering a sad smile. "And for ourselves." That moment, though no camera recorded it, was proof of a quiet truth. While their romantic love had ended, the bond they shared through family would endure no matter what the internet said. In early 2020, the gentle sunlight of Los Angeles filtered through the windows of the Los Feliz home, where Maya Johnson was beginning a new chapter in her life. 3 months after announcing her divorce from Ethan Carter, Maya, now 36, stood in front of the mirror, tying her curly hair up as she always did. But this time, she smiled at her reflection. The house, once the stage of Ethan and Maya's journey, was now where she was rebuilding a home for Ava, age 8, and Zoe, age 3. Though the pain of the breakup still lingered, Maya found strength in motherhood. and a quiet determination to rediscover herself, starting with a short video from her living room, sharing with viewers what her new life looked like. Maya was no longer the radiant model walking runways, or the cheerful face in family vlogs. Wearing an oversized sweater, she sat on the sofa and spoke to the camera with sincerity. "It's been 3 months since Ethan and I separated. If you feel confused, I get it. Everything happened fast, but it was building quietly for a long time." She admitted that the cracks in their marriage, pressures from YouTube, different life goals, and emotional distance had been visible in their final videos. "I'm not good at pretending," she said with a soft, sad smile. "My feelings always show on my face." The video, posted to her new personal Instagram account, received hundreds of supportive comments. "Maya, you are so strong. Thank you for being real." Under California law, Ethan and Maya were required to live separately for a period before finalizing the divorce, which takes at least 6 months before formal filing. Maya explained in the video, "Here you need time to think and process. And that's important because it lets us focus on Ava and Zoe. Unlike in some states where divorces can be finalized quickly, this regulation gave Maya space to heal. She wasn't rushing but admitted, if things were different, I might have filed already. But for the girls, we're doing this the right way." Maya's new life revolved around Ava and Zoe. Ava, with her intelligence and emotional depth, loved drawing colorful pictures and telling school stories. She slowly adjusted to her parents living apart, though she still asked Mom, "When will you and Dad be together again?" Maya would hold her and say gently, "Mom and Dad will always be here for you, but in a different way." Zoe, 3, was pure joy with a bright smile and a habit of dancing around the house to Beyoncé. Maya worried about how the children would process the change, but their resilience amazed her. "Ava understands her feelings better than I expected," she shared. And Zoe, "All she needs is love." The 2020 social media landscape, where vloggers were shifting toward more personal content, inspired Maya to launch a new YouTube channel, Maya's Moments. Unlike the old channel, which focused on family, this one centered on her beauty routines, home decorating, and everyday life with her daughters. In the first video, she shared how she styled her natural curls and decorated Ava's room with her artwork. She said, "I don't want vlogging to take over my life anymore. I'm doing it for joy, not pressure." The channel quickly attracted old fans who appreciated her authenticity with comments like, "Maya, you're shining in a new way." Fame, once a burden, was something Maya now approached differently. She set firm boundaries: no filming if the kids didn't want it, or sharing overly private moments. Still, audience pressure remained. Some asked, "Are you dating anyone?" or speculated about the reasons behind the divorce. Maya responded gently, "I'm focusing on myself and my girls. Love will come when it's meant to." That honesty helped her regain confidence, though she admitted, "Sometimes I still fear being judged. Being a single mom online isn't easy." Maya began rediscovering old passions. She returned to fashion blogging, posting about minimalist style and outfit ideas for busy moms. She also took a pottery class, finding joy in shaping imperfect little bowls. On many afternoons, she brought Ava and Zoe to the park, playing tag and eating ice cream with no cameras, just laughter. "I realized I had forgotten how to live for myself," so she confided in a friend. Those small but meaningful moments became healing salves for her heart. Though strong, Maya never denied the pain. 6 years of marriage isn't easy to forget, she said in one video. "I gave my 20s to loving Ethan and building a family. You don't just walk away from that and feel fine the next day. But I'm learning to love myself again." She admitted to hard days seeing Ava play with friends, whose parents were still together, sometimes made her feel guilty. But watching her daughters thrive, Ava sharing stories confidently, Zoe dancing without care, reassured her she was on the right path. One evening, after the girls were asleep, Maya sat on the balcony gazing at the twinkling lights of Los Angeles. She opened her phone and saw a message from Ethan. "How are you doing? Are the girls okay?" She replied, "We're doing well. Thank you." That message, though short, was a reminder of the mutual respect they still held. Maya knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but with Ava and Zoe by her side, she felt a new kind of strength. The strength of a woman rediscovering herself one step at a time in her light. In the spring of 2020, morning light filtered through the windows of a small apartment in Echo Park, Los Angeles, where Ethan Carter began his day with a cup of coffee and a renewed mindset. 4 months after announcing his divorce from Maya Johnson, Ethan, now 38, was learning to live alone for the first time in nearly a decade. Though the pain of their breakup still lingered, he found comfort in being a father to Ava, 8, and Zoe, 3, while rediscovering his passion for filmmaking through new projects, now free from the pressure of YouTube. A short video on his personal Instagram shot from his balcony marked his quiet return, an update on his journey of self-discovery. Ethan was no longer the shy guy from Ohio, nor the busy husband seen in family vlogs. With graying brown hair and introspective blue eyes, he wore a plain t-shirt and sat in front of the camera. "It's been a few months since everything changed. I'm learning to be a dad, a friend, and myself." He acknowledged that the divorce was a shock, but also a chance to grow. "Maya and I had a beautiful journey, but sometimes you must let go to move forward." Though simple, the video drew hundreds of comments. "Ethan, you're so strong. Keep going," for Ava and Zoe. Ethan's new life revolved around his daughters. He picked up Ava and Zoe on weekends, taking them to the park, or for ice cream at a little shop near his place. Ava, bright and emotionally aware, loved telling her dad about school and showing him her drawings. One day, she asked Dad, "Can I stay with you longer?" Ethan moved, hugged her, and said, "I'll always be here whenever you need me." Cheerful and carefree. Zoe loved riding on her dad's shoulders and begging for stories about flying dragons. Still clumsy with Zoe's hair braids, Ethan patiently followed YouTube tutorials, prompting Maya to chuckle when she saw the results. She texted, "Not bad at all, Ethan," a small sign of their growing friendliness. The cultural climate in Los Angeles in 2020, amid recovery from social unrest and the pandemic, shaped how Ethan rebuilt his life. He distanced himself from social media, once the heart of Ethan and Maya's journey, to focus on real-life connections. Still, his past fame lingered. Strangers occasionally recognized him at the grocery store and asked, "Are you still doing YouTube?" Ethan would smile politely, "I'm just being a dad these days." But the pressure from former viewers remained, with comments like, "Why don't you film with Maya anymore?" or speculative gossip. Ethan chose silence, learning to protect his boundaries. Filmmaking became Ethan's escape. He launched a personal YouTube channel, Ethan's Lens, focusing on creative projects like short films and scenic videos. In his first upload, he filmed a sunrise at Griffith Park, layered with his reflections on finding new meaning in life. "I used to think YouTube was everything," he said, "but now I create because I love it, not for anyone else." The channel, though far less popular than his old one, attracted a new audience who appreciated his sincerity. "This is the realest Ethan I've ever seen," one viewer commented. Ethan also started working on a short film inspired by fatherhood. He spent evenings writing a script about a man who learns to love through his children. The project hadn't gained significant recognition yet, but it reignited his confidence. "I used to fear failure," and he admitted it to a friend. "But divorce taught me that sometimes failure is how you begin again." He also returned to freelance work producing commercial videos, but only accepted jobs that allowed time for Ava and Zoe. Watching Ava and Zoe grow became the brightest part of Ethan's new life. With her love for storytelling and drawing, Ava began writing short tales, often asking her dad to read them. Ethan proudly kept a special box for her creations. Playful and energetic Zoe loved pretending to be a superhero, flying around the room, while Ethan laughed with joy. Though he still worried about how the girls would grow up with separated parents, seeing Ava thrive at school, and Zoe dance freely reassured him. He said, "They're teaching me more than I could ever teach them." Despite his strength, Ethan didn't deny the pain. "Letting go of Maya was the hardest thing I've ever done," he confessed in one video. "I spent nearly 10 years with her, from MySpace to Zoe. Moving on doesn't mean forgetting." He faced lonely days when the apartment felt too quiet, but moments with his daughters, Ava laughing on the swing or Zoe sleeping in his arms, gave him purpose. He maintained a respectful relationship with Maya, coordinating parenting schedules and occasionally chatting about Ava and Zoe. "We're no longer husband and wife, but we're still family," he said. One afternoon, after dropping Ava and Zoe back at Maya's house, Ethan sat on the porch watching them run into the yard. Maya brought him a glass of water and asked, "You okay?" Ethan nodded, smiling softly. "Trying." "You?" she replied. "Trying too." The short exchange without cameras was a quiet testament to their mutual respect. Ethan knew the road ahead would be challenging, but with Ava and Zoe at the center and his creative fire rekindled, he felt ready to write his next chapter, one frame at a time. In the summer of 2020, golden sunlight washed over Griffith Park in Los Angeles as Ava and Zoe, daughters of Ethan Carter and Maya Johnson, ran freely across the grass, their laughter echoing like a melody of healing. Over 6 months since their parents' divorce, 8-year-old Ava and 3-year-old Zoe had become the heart of a world Ethan and Maya were rebuilding. Life had changed. Shared custody meant days split between Ethan's small apartment in Echo Park and Maya's home in Los Feliz. But the resilience and love of the girls became the warmth that guided their parents through unhealed wounds. Ava, with curls like her mother and bright blue eyes like her father, was wise beyond her years. She loved to draw, write short stories about Princess Ava and little sister Zoe, and read them aloud during cozy evenings with her parents. Her sensitivity meant she had sensed the changes in the family long before most children her age would have. One evening, as Maya braided her hair, Ava asked Mom, "What can I do to make you and Dad happier?" Maya, deeply moved, hugged her tightly and replied, "Be Ava. That's more than enough." Ava nodded and began expressing her love, drawing family portraits with her parents, holding hands from either side, or baking cookies to bring to Ethan when she visited. Though innocent, these small, tender gestures were emotional lifelines for Maya during hard days. With her radiant smile and bubbly energy, Zoe was a boundless source of joy. At 3, she didn't fully grasp the meaning of her parents living apart, but she adapted quickly. She loved playing superhero with Ethan, pretending to defeat him on the living room floor, and dancing with Maya in the kitchen, while singing an off-key version of Single Ladies. One evening after a long day, Maya slumped on the couch. Zoe climbed onto her lap, kissed her cheek, and whispered, "Mommy is a princess." Like sunlight piercing through clouds, that little moment lifted Maya's spirit. When Ethan picked up Zoe, he would joke, "You're Daddy's superhero." You know that Zoe would giggle loudly, unaware that her carefree presence was helping both her parents heal. In 2020, as Los Angeles and the world navigated the aftermath of a global pandemic and social upheaval, Ava and Zoe's presence became even more essential. Though no longer a couple, Ethan and Maya worked in sync to ensure their daughter's stability. They enrolled Ava in online art classes and organized Zoe's 4th birthday party over Zoom with relatives from Ohio and Atlanta. They established a weekly video call tradition so the four could stay connected. Their multicultural family, Ethan being white and Maya black, was reflected in how they taught the girls about heritage. Maya shared stories about their grandmother in Atlanta, while Ethan sang Midwestern folk songs to Zoe. Ava once asked, "Am I both?" Maya smiled and said, "Yes, baby. You're both. You're the whole world." Though their YouTube fame had faded, its traces remained. Fans still sent messages asking about Ava and Zoe. Some even requested new family videos. On her channel, Maya's Moments, Maya responded gently, "Our children are at the center of our lives, but we want them to have a truly their childhood." Ethan on his channel, Ethan's Lens, echoed that sentiment. "I film because I love it, not to put my daughters online." Still, pressure lingered. Once, while playing at the park, Ava was recognized and asked for a photo by a stranger. She instinctively pulled back and grabbed Ethan's hand. "She wants to play," he said softly, declining the request. That moment made both parents reinforce their boundaries, turning down all offers related to family-focused YouTube content. Despite limiting audience interaction, moments of warmth still came through. A fan sent Maya a handwritten letter. "Ava and Zoe must be wonderful girls because they have parents like you." Maya read the letter to Ava, who grinned. "Mom, am I famous?" Maya hugged her. "You're famous just for being Ava, not because of YouTube." Such encouragement reminded Ethan and Maya that their painful story continued to inspire. What mattered now wasn't views, but the hearts they'd touched along the way. In their ways, Ava and Zoe became the thread that held Ethan and Maya together. One afternoon, as the whole family gathered at Maya's house to bake a birthday cake for Ava, Zoe accidentally spilled flour across the table, causing all four of them to burst out laughing. With astonishing maturity, Ava said, "I love this when Mommy and Daddy laugh together." Her words brought a quiet stillness. Ethan and Maya looked at each other and realized that though no longer husband and wife, they were still undeniably a family because of their girls. Later, after dropping the girls off, Ethan sent Maya a message. "Thank you for being a fantastic mom." She replied, "Thank you for being their dad." Short, simple words, but proof of a bond that transcended heartbreak. Although still so young, Ava and Zoe taught their parents what resilience meant. Ava, with her colorful drawings, and Zoe, with her uninhibited laughter, were living proof that family love could endure anything. One night, as Maya read bedtime stories with both girls curled beside her, Zoe whispered, "I love Mommy and Daddy, wherever you are." Tears welled in Maya's eyes as she kissed their foreheads. Across town in Echo Park, Ethan watched an old video of the girls playing and smiled. "You're everything to me." The strength of Ava and Zoe, quiet but unwavering, was the light guiding Ethan and Maya forward, offering hope for a future where love, though changed, would always remain. In the autumn of 2020, gentle Los Angeles sunlight blanketed the palm-lined streets where Ethan Carter and Maya Johnson, now walking separate paths, still shared one united goal: to bring happiness to Ava 8 and Zoe 3. Nearly a year after announcing their divorce, both had found a new sense of balance in life. From small homes in Echo Park and Los Feliz to blossoming personal passions, Ethan and Maya were no longer husband and wife, but allies in parenting and their new dreams. Like the morning light promised a bright future, where the love of family would remain an undying flame. Maya, now 36, stood in her Los Feliz living room, having just finished filming a video for her YouTube channel, Maya's Moments. With her signature high bun and a cozy, oversized sweater, She shared how she decorated her workspace with handmade ceramics. "I'm learning to slow down." She smiled, the glow returning to her face after months of struggle. Her channel focused on beauty, home decor, and everyday moments with Ava. And Zoe had drawn a small but loyal community. Viewers praised her authenticity, with comments like, "Maya, you're such an inspiration." She set clear boundaries, filming only when the children agreed and never letting vlogging take over family time. "I want Ava and Zoe to remember me as someone who played with them, not just someone behind the camera," she shared. Ethan, 38, was also rewriting his story from his Echo Park apartment. With graying brown hair and blue eyes that lit up when he spoke about filming, he devoted time to Ethan's Lens, where he posted short films and scenic videos. A recent video featuring a Santa Monica sunset, paired with reflections on fatherhood, received praise. "Ethan, your storytelling through images is incredible." He also began a short film project about a single father inspired by his life. "Divorce isn't a failure," he said in one video. "It's a chance for Ava and Zoe to become a better version of myself." His commercial video work provided stability, but creative expression made him wake up each morning with a smile. Ava and Zoe remained the center of both their lives. Bright and creative Ava now enjoys writing short stories and drawing colorful pictures. One day, she gave Maya a story titled "Princess Ava and Zoe Save the World," which made Maya laugh and pull her into a tight hug with Ethan. Ava loved watching him edit videos, often asking, "Dad, is making movies fun?" He'd grin and reply, "It is, but not as fun as playing with you." Zoe, always smiling and spirited, adored adventures with her dad, chasing through parks and singing with her mom in the kitchen. Their resilience, from Ava's calm acceptance of co-parenting to Zoe's pure joy, was a deep source of strength. "My girls make me want to be better," Maya said. Ethan agreed. "They're the reason I never give up." The cultural landscape of 2020, shaped by a global pandemic and social evolution, guided how Ethan and Maya moved forward. They taught Ava and Zoe about their mixed heritage, from stories about Maya's grandmother in Atlanta to Ethan's Midwestern folk songs. Weekend picnics and baking sessions alternated between households, creating shared memories and ensuring the girls felt equally loved by both parents. Their once public interracial identity, which drew online attention, had become a natural part of parenting. Ava once said proudly, "I'm both worlds just like you two." Though their online fame had faded, echoes remained. Fans still messaged them, hoping for joint videos. Both responded gently. Maya said in a video that "We want our girls to have a private childhood." Ethan echoed on his channel, "Thank you for your support, but I will film for myself today." Once, when a fan spotted them at a cafe and asked about Ethan and Maya's journey, Ava chimed in, "My mom and dad work separately now, but I love them both." Her innocent words made Ethan and Maya smile, reminding them of the worth behind their shared years. The road ahead was filled with new dreams. Maya planned to launch a fashion and lifestyle blog and host pottery workshops for women. She dreamed of publishing a book about her journey as a single mother. Ethan hoped to screen his short film at an independent festival. He also wanted to take Ava and Zoe to Ohio so that they could discover his roots. Though they walked separate paths, they remained connected. One afternoon, after dropping Zoe off at preschool together, Maya said, "We've done well, haven't we?" Ethan nodded. "It's better than I ever imagined. The girls are proof." One evening at Griffith Park, Ethan and Maya sat on a bench, watching Ava and Zoe play tag in the golden light. Ava ran up, grabbed their hands, and said, "Play." They laughed, got up, and chased their daughter's laughter, blending into the fading daylight. No cameras, no audience, just them. A family, imperfect, yet whole in their way. As the sun dipped low, Maya looked at Ethan and asked, "The future will be okay, won't it?" He smiled. "It's more than okay, because we have Ava and Zoe." That promise spoken gently closed the chapter that began on MySpace and unfolded on YouTube, and opened a new one, where family love and personal dreams would shine side by side.